Leon, Frieda and the Johanniter. A story by Anke Küpper with illustrations by Gerhard Schröder. Leon has his friend Frieda round for a visit. Later, the two of them are going to the town fair with Leon's family. "There's going to be a bouncy castle and face painting," says Leon. Frieda is excited because that means she can have her face painted as a dog. "And I want to be a cat," Leon hisses and jumps energetically off the swing. As he lands, he falls over and grazes his forearm. "Let me see," says Frieda. Mummy comes and looks at the graze too. "It doesn't hurt," says Leon, but Mummy still thinks she had better clean the wound and put a plaster on it. "Have you seen my recipe book?" she asks on the way into the house. "I promised Anna I would bake a cake for the helpers." Leon's sister Anna is already at the town fair and is helping to set up the Johanniter stall. Leon shakes his head. Leon keeps very still while Mummy carefully cleans the wound under running water and pats it dry. Then Frieda sticks a plaster on it. "You do that just as well as Anna does, Frieda, and she learned to do it from the Johanniter. She's the school first aider," Leon says proudly. "Stay!" Daddy's voice rings out from the next room. "Who is your daddy talking to?" Frieda wonders. "Could Anna still be here?" "Daddy's reading to Balu," explains Leon. "He's training him to be a reading dog." "But dogs can't read," Frieda snorts. "A reading dog doesn't have to be able to read." Daddy tells Frieda that in the future he will go to schools and libraries with Balu. There, Balu will listen patiently to the children who can't read very well yet. This will help the children learn to read better and get over their fear of reading aloud. "And they won't be afraid of dogs anymore," adds Leon. Mummy is still looking for her recipe book. When she asks Daddy about it, Leon suddenly remembers something. "You took it with you to Grandad's when we baked a cake with him for his birthday." Mummy looks doubtful. She calls Grandad, but he doesn't answer the phone. "He must be in the garden," says Leon. Mummy, Leon and Frieda decide to go to Grandad's with Balu and ask him about the book. "The recipe book? You took it home with you," grumbles Grandad. Then he spots Leon's plaster and asks, "What happened to you?" "I fell over." Leon points to the new bracelet on Grandad's wrist. "Do you have a fitness bracelet like Daddy now too?" Grandad laughs. Not quite. It's an emergency call button from the Johanniter. If I fall over like you and nobody's around to help me, I can press the red button. Then the Johanniter will send someone over immediately." "An emergency call button is a splendid thing for older people," says Grandad. "The Johanniter are old too," says Leon. He learned that from Anna. Grandad grins. "I'm only 80. The Johanniter are almost 1,000 years old." He turns to Frieda. "The Order of St. John was founded in Jerusalem in the olden days to look after the poor and the sick. Today, the Johanniter do a lot more." "Like bouncy castles," says Frieda and giggles. In the afternoon, they all go to the town fair. Mummy carries a big box of cake. "Did you find your recipe book?" Grandad asks. Mummy shakes her head. She mixed the ingredients together from memory. "I hope I haven't forgotten anything," she murmurs. "I'm sure you haven't," says Daddy reassuringly. He licked the spoon, and the mixture tasted just as good as ever. First, they visit the Johanniter stall. And Anna. "What have you done to yourself this time?" Anna asks. Leon rolls his eyes. "I just fell over, and I got to stick the plaster on," says Frieda. It looks wonderful, says Anna enthusiastically. Maybe you'd like to join my Johanniter youth group. We do crafts, cook, go on trips, and learn first aid. Oh, yes, says Frieda. But first, she and Leon want to go on the bouncy castle and then get their faces painted. Be careful with your arm, Mummy calls after Leon. There are lots of first aiders around, Leon calls back. The Johanniter helpers are not only supervising the bouncy castle and painting the children's faces, they are also giving first aid to keep everyone at the fair safe. At their stall, they also provide information about all the jobs that the Johanniter and the Johanniter Christmas truckers do. Johanniter help in medical emergencies. In the kindergartens run by the Johanniter, children are looked after from creche up to after-school care. Trained companion dogs help seriously ill children and adults. After going on the bouncy castle, Leon and Frieda go to get their faces painted. Anna paints Leon's face like a cat, while her colleague paints Frieda's face like a dog. Can you paint glasses on me too? Frieda asks. Why? Asks Anna's colleague. So I can read better, explains Frieda. Oh, don't you two look cute, Mummy says when she picks the children up. I'm not cute, Leon hisses indignantly and scampers off to the bouncy castle again, while Mummy buys a new recipe book at the jumble sale. When they are back home, Frieda looks in Balu's basket. What's this? It's the recipe book. I think Balu can read after all. Frieda holds up the chewed book. I should have known. Mummy laughs.